We run into this with Seraphine, actually. Like, you know, we get a lot of overwhelming feedback about Seraphine from Seraphine mains. Real Seraphine mains, I'm not saying they're fake or anything. Whenever we like tune her to be like less AP carry, more support, we get, you know, often get an overwhelming amount of feedback of like, hey, where's my AP carry? And again, that's valid. We don't want to just delete it, Seraphine AP carry. That's totally valid. But the people who aren't talking also tend to be the majority of people playing Seraphine, because the majority of people playing Seraphine are support players. And so in a world where we want to tune Seraphine for the, you know, her largest and most vibrant player base, we have to pay attention to how she feels as support, even if most of the feedback we would get from, you know, a dedicated group of Seraphine mains might be like those more engaged players who are playing her like, you know, as an AP carry. Which, again, doesn't mean that Seraphine shouldn't be viable as an AP carry. It's just like, there's like a lot of times with characters, there's like a silent majority of players who like are playing them in a place that might not match up exactly with what, you know, a super dedicated main might be thinking. Anyways, what I'm getting at is, you know, you gotta be this idea that like, hey, why don't you just listen to mains? They know what's up. It's more like, hey, mains have a specific opinion that can be very valuable, but that doesn't necessarily get you to the best version of a character, the most balanced version of a character, or even a version of the character that is wanted by the majority of people who play it. Doesn't mean that information isn't valuable though, because again, when I work on a character, I think talking to mains can be incredibly invaluable for like, especially like little feel things, where it's like one of the things that I found valuable when, say, working on Vel'Koz for a little bit is I actually just went and, you know, looked at a few posts by Vel'Koz players, looked at a few like clips from Azzap, and I was like, oh, there's a couple feel things on this guy that I quite literally just did not know about that I could probably fix. And I wouldn't have gotten that without hearing a main talk about it, right? So there's definitely, you know, a Talon main showed up to my stream a while back and was like, hey, did you know that Talon's Q feels really bad in this one situation? And I was like, no, I didn't know that. And then the next day I went into work and I asked the team, I asked Freak and the team, I was like, hey guys, did you all know that Talon's Q feels bad in this very specific situation? And the team was like, yo, let's fix it. And then we did, right? And it was like, hey, that came from a dedicated Talon main who was definitely on the Talon main Discord and was definitely like really cared about Talon, right? But for every piece of feedback where you're like, hey, this thing feels bad, could you fix it? That's good. You might get a piece of feedback that says, hey, this thing feels bad, could you fix it? That's like, actually, that would just like remove the weakness of the character. And so you always just have to be careful, and you shouldn't just do literally everything that a mains community says.